G'day guys, it's Rob from TAP. Just want to run you through a quick diagnostic that we've had in for this diesel BMW X3 3-litre diesel. It's coming for running rough, hunting and surging. So stick with us and I'll show you what we found.
So as you can see here, the vehicle is idling very erratically, and as we try and rev it, it's just surging all the way up the rev range. We just jump out and you can see all the smoke in the screen, and look at all the smoke coming out of the back. It's just terrible white stinky smoke that's burning our eyes, so clearly we know we've got incomplete combustion going on here. So the first thing we do is jump on the scan tool, and as you can see, we don't have any codes except for glow plug codes, which obviously aren't going to cause our fault. So we're going to bring up some live data instead, and what we get there, as you can see at the top, we've got rail pressure, actual rail pressure desired, and they're the same. Forget about the minus number, it's not what we're interested to see. EGR activation is very low, almost off. But what we can notice there, if you look at our air mass target value versus our air mass actual value, you can see the massive discrepancy between the two. So clearly we can look at that and think to ourselves, do we have a faulty MAF? Do we have an intake air flap slightly closed, causing less of airflow? Do we have a stuck open EGR? So luckily for us, the EGR is right in front of your face when you pop the bonnet, so let's have a look there. Took off that pipe and got the mirror in there, and I don't know if you can really see that, but I can tell you for sure that's completely closed with the vehicle off. And you can see that we are vacuum controlled, so the next step to check that is to look at the vacuum control once we're running. And what we'll do is we'll tee in a vacuum gauge right into that line, and we've just got the gauge lined up in the corner there. We're going to go start the vehicle up and see what we get on the gauge. So we just quickly rush over to the gauge here. As you can see, nothing. Gets up to almost 16 inches. Slowly starts to increase further. Previously I saw it up to about 18, and immediately as soon as it gets over that 15 mark, it starts to run like crap. So what we do is we just pull off the vacuum line, and once you take vacuum away, it actually completely closes the EGR if the EGR is working correctly. And as soon as that happened, EGR completely closed, the engine started running normally again, no hunting at all. So just to prove it, we just jump in the car and give it a rev, and as you can see by that rev range, it's revving absolutely perfectly. So clearly that shows us that we've more than likely got a faulty vacuum solenoid control valve to it. So we pulled off the intake manifold, and you can see the solenoid right there. It looks in really bad shape, so we ended up taking that out, replacing it because we suspected it to be faulty, and now with the new one on, back together, teed in, vehicle started up, have a look, we rush straight to 13, 14, but we are dead solid, not creeping, not moving at all. The engine's running absolutely normally. If we go to our scan tool, we can have a look at our EGR activation is around the 60% mark, probably a little bit higher than I thought it was going to be, but obviously we're 60% open at idle. But look at our air mass target, and our actual values are lined up perfectly now. So there's a clear example of, if we suspect an EGR fault or something like that, we can look at our air mass desired and actual values to determine, if we're less than what we desired, then obviously, we could be having an issue like a stuck open EGR, reducing the amount of airflow, and that could go past the airflow meter. So just double checking, it's going good, jump in the car, give it another rev, and yeah, it works absolutely perfectly now. So the vehicle was definitely fixed. Obviously it was heaps of smoke still coming out the back. Took it for a drive, got it on the road now, as you can see on the road test, and we give it a bit of a rev, and it ran actually fantastic. So had quite a lot of power and ran great. So we took it for a bit of an extended road test to clear out all the smoke, and once we got back to the shop, all the smoke was gone, the vehicle was idling nice and smoothly, and we checked for codes, and all the codes were gone. We did do the glow plugs at the same time with the intake manifold off. It was probably the right thing to do with it off anyway, but there you go, that was fixed.
So there you go, guys. Hopefully that makes sense and it shows you how you can use air mass, target and design figures to point you in the right direction of a possible EGR fault. So thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you jump on tap to see all the other tips and tricks and repair solutions on board. See you next time.